So I start from the premise that nature is smarter than I am and try to let nature teach me how reality works.
Let's do a book review on Principles by Ray Dalio. Well, this is Pinoy Extreme. Let's do this.
This is Pinoy Extreme.
Don't get hung up on your views of how things should be because you will miss out on learning how they really are. It's important not to let our biases stand in the way of our objectivity. To get good results, we need to be analytical rather than emotional. Whenever I observe something in nature that I, or mankind, think is wrong, I assume that I'm wrong and try to figure out why what nature is doing makes sense. That has taught me a lot. It has changed my thinking about 1. What's good and what's bad, 2. What my purpose in life is, and 3. What I should do when faced with my most important choices. To help explain why, I will give you a simple example. When I went to Africa a number of years ago, I saw a pack of hyenas take down a young wildebeest. My reaction was visceral. I felt empathy for the wildebeest and thought that what I had witnessed was horrible. But was that because it was horrible, or was it because I am biased to believe it's horrible when it is actually wonderful? That got me thinking. Would the world be a better or worse place if what I'd seen hadn't occurred? That perspective drove me to consider the second and third-order consequences so that I could see that the world would be worse. I now realize that nature optimizes for the whole, not for the individual, but most people judge good and bad based only on how it affects them.
Most people judge what is good and what is bad based on how it affects them. Well, marami sa mga nasa social media yung nagvi-virtue signaling lang because ang importante is not really the entirety or the wider perspective ng kung ano man yung pinaglalaban nila, pero mas importante para sa kanila yung magmukha silang angat para sa ibang tao. Yung magmukha silang mas mabait, mas moral, mas may values kesa sa ibang tao, because again, at the end of the day, all they care is not about good and bad, but themselves. Ultimo basic cause and effect, tatablahin nila, babaguhin nila yung nature dahil lang sa eto yung gusto kong mangyari, eto yung gusto kong maging kalabasan, ako yung magaling, ako yung tagapagligtas, ako yung white knight sa social media. And with that, they are going to disregard what is reality kapalit nung ideal world or ideal result nila. Pinagtagpo ng tadhana yung taong may inferiority complex at yung taong may messiah complex, which is yung isa naman gustong-gustong magligtas, gustong-gustong mag-virtue signaling, at yung isa naman gustong-gusto na makakuha ng proteksyon kahit naman kaya nilang gawin yon sa mga sarili nila dahil nga sa benepisyo na nakukuha nila dito. Perfect toxic combination.
What I had seen was the process of nature at work, which is much more effective at furthering the improvement of the whole than any process man has ever invented. Most people call something bad if it is bad for them or bad for those they empathize with, ignoring the greater good.
O, di ba? Perfect para doon sa taong mahilig kumampi sa mga kulay-kulay. Kasi you know what? The goal of that kind of movement is to not improve the greater good but to appear as superior doon sa ibang grupo. How do they appear superior? By invoking that, tama kasi ako kasi hindi ganyan yung nangyari, dapat ganito 'di ba? Kayo may kasalanan diyan They only care about themselves. They only care about the truth na sana mangyari para magmukha kaming matalino, magmukha kaming mabait, magmukha kaming superior sa mga tao or sa grupo na magiging mali. Ganyan na yung mindset ng Pilipino ngayon. Kaya wala tayong pinatutunguhan. Kasi we only value ourselves. We pretend that we value for the greater good, but in reality, we only care about ourselves. We only care about feeling good about ourselves.
This tendency extends to groups. One religion will consider its beliefs good and another religion's beliefs bad to such an extent that their members might kill each other in the mutual conviction that each is doing what's right. Typically, people's conflicting beliefs or conflicting interests make them unable to see things through another's eyes. That's not good and it doesn't make sense. While I could understand people liking something that helps them and disliking things that hurt them, it doesn't make sense to call something good or bad in an absolute sense based only on how it affects individuals. To do so would presume that what the individual wants is more important than the good of the whole.
Kasi gusto lang talaga nila maging tama. Di ba? Common yan eh. Kahit sinong kulay, sabihin nila, pag natupad yung ano nila, oy, tingnan mo, see? Told ya! Gusto lang nilang magkaroon ng ganong moments. Told ya! Tama ako, mali kayo. We're better. So, you're loser. Ganon yung mindset ng mga nasa partisanship sa mga kulay-kulay. They do not look at what is relatively good for most of the citizen. They only look for what is good sa kanila at sa grupo nila.
To me, nature seems to define good as what's good for the whole and optimizes for it, which is preferable. So I have come to believe that as a general rule, to be good, something must operate consistently with the laws of reality and contribute to the evolution of the whole. That is what is most rewarded. For example, if you come up with something the world values, you almost can't help but be rewarded.
Ang naging problema kasi natin sa partisanship is they are thinking for the betterment of their group. Ngayon, kung gusto mo makuha yung reward, yung magandang bagay na naisip nila, kailangan mong sumali sa grupo nila or else hindi ka magkakaroon ng benefit from what they have thought of. So, napaka-exclusive nung reward, nung tulong, nung benefit na iisip ng mga taong naniniwala or nasa loob ng isang partisanship. Kaya, watak-watak pa rin ang mga Pilipino.
Conversely, reality tends to penalize those people, species, and things that don't work well and detract from evolution. In looking at what is true for everything, I have come to believe that, evolution is the single greatest force in the universe. It is the only thing that is permanent and it drives everything. Everything from the smallest subatomic particle to the entire galaxy is evolving. While everything apparently dies or disappears in time, the truth is that it all just gets reconfigured in evolving forms. Remember that energy can't be destroyed, it can only be reconfigured. So the same stuff is continuously falling apart and coalescing in different forms. The force behind that is evolution. For example, the primary purpose of every living thing is to act as a vessel for the DNA that evolves life through time. The DNA that exists within each individual came from an eternity ago, and will continue to live long after its individual carriers pass away, in increasingly evolved forms. As I thought about evolution, I realized that it exists in other forms than life and is carried out through other transmission mechanisms than DNA. Technologies, languages, and everything else evolves. Knowledge, for example, is like DNA in that it is passed from generation to generation and evolves. Its impact on people over many generations can be as great or greater than that of the genetic code. Evolution is good because it is the process of adaptation that generally moves things toward improvement.
Now, a lot of Filipinos do not want to evolve because they are too comfortable in their position dahil nga nagsusurvive sila. Nagsusurvive sila kasi may nag-aalaga sa kanila, may tumutulong, so on and so forth. But nagiging cause din yung pagstay nila sa pagiging mahina para abusuhin sila ng mga taong nag-i-evolve. And hence, pinapanatili nilang mangmang or mahina yung mga taong nasanay na sa komportableng buhay.
All things such as products, organizations, and human capabilities evolve through time in a similar way. It is simply the process by which things either adapt and improve or die. To me, this evolutionary process looks like what you see on the right. Evolution consists of adaptations/inventions that provide spurts of benefits that decline in value. That painful decline leads either to new adaptations and new inventions that bring new products, organizations, and human capabilities to new and higher levels of development, as shown in the top diagram on the facing page, or decline and death, which looks like the diagram at bottom left. Think of any product, organization, or person you know, and you will see that this is true. The world is littered with once great things that deteriorated and failed. Only a rare few have kept reinventing themselves to go on to new heights of greatness. All machines eventually break down, decompose, and have their parts recycled to create new machines. That includes us. Sometimes this makes us sad because we've become attached to our machines, but if you look at it from the higher level, it's really beautiful to observe how the machine of evolution works. From this perspective, we can see that perfection doesn't exist. It is a goal that fuels a never-ending process of adaptation. If nature or anything were perfect, it wouldn't be evolving. Organisms, organizations, and individual people are always highly imperfect but capable of improving.
Now, my final takeaway about this chapter in Ray Dalio's principle is that when people gets too comfortable with what they have and they do not try to improve themselves, maaabutan sila ng buhay. And yun yung magiging dahilan ng further and greater cause of suffering nila. Mananatili silang mahina hanggang sa maglaho na lang sila. Sabi nga ni Shishio, the strong will live and the weak shall die. If we stop on adapting what life throw at us, then yung possibility na pestehin natin yung ibang tao na napagtagumpayan nila yung buhay nila para buhayin tayo. Take note, buhayin tayo hindi natulong. Kasi nga namimihasa tayo Bubuhayin nila tayo dahil lang sa naaawa sila sa atin. Gusto nyo bang maging ganun yung pagtingin ng tao sa inyo? Well, this is Pinoy Extreme. Have a good day.